The Wii era was weird for me. I was in the latter half of elementary school and the Wii, PS3, and Xbox 360 were already out for a good while at this time. But I was growing up fast, mainly because of peer pressure and family who would ask, "You still watch cartoons?" Sometimes I just wanted to say, "You still live with your mama?" And I did. Let's just say that my uncle learned that I knew the weak spot for his men a many a times. What does that have to do with anything? Well, I didn't get games like Naruto Clash of Ninja or Dragon Ball anymore for home consoles at least. Instead, I got games that everyone can enjoy like Wii Sports and those type of games. Meaning I didn't have no idea the existence of my favorite series at the time had continued beyond the GameCube. Just like the Wii era was weird for me, the Naruto series would have a strange release on the Wii. One of them being Naruto Shippuden Dragon Blade Chronicles. But I'm not going to talk about that one here. I will in the future. But for now, I want to talk about the weird release of Naruto Clash of Ninja in the US on the Wii.
Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution.
Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution was released exclusively in the US on October 23, 2007, with EU following March 28, 2008, and Australia May 8, 2008. Less than a year after Naruto Clash of Ninja 1 and 2. An anime game releasing exclusively in a region that is not uncommon. In fact, Naruto The Broken Bond was released in the West only and not in Japan. But what differentiates Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution from The Broken Bond is that Revolution is a reworked version of a game released exclusively in Japan on the GameCube, Naruto Gekido Ninja Tyson 3. But it isn't just a simple rework of Ninja Tyson 3. To be honest, it doesn't really play like it. That's because Clash of Ninja will continue on the Wii in Japan under the series name Naruto Shippuden Gekido Ninja Tyson EX, and Clash of Ninja Revolution would take this battle system from those entries with a few differentiators. As I said previously, the combat in the game feels different from the GameCube versions of the Clash of Ninja series. Standard fares such as B for weak attack and A for strong attack make their return for basic combos and strings. If you want a more in-depth view on the combat system, I suggest you watch my mini retrospectives on the series. I'm mainly going to talk about the changes from each series going forward. And the change would be how the hit stun decay and juggle system works. When an opponent is in a juggle combo, they seem to not stay in the air as long as previous games. If you've ever played the Injustice series or Mortal Kombat by the NetherRealm Studios, it's similar to that in the way that the more hits that you do on the opponent, the lower the opponent gets to the ground, making it harder for combos to connect. This was something that was taken from the EX series on the Wii. Another mechanic taken from later entries is Y canceling. Y canceling is something that was introduced in the series by Naruto Gekido Ninja Tyson 4. To execute it, have a little bit of chakra meter, 1/4 to be exact, and press Y while you're doing a combo. I'm playing on the GameCube controller, so forgive me if you're playing on a Wii remote. When I first experienced this in Ninja Tyson 4, it added so much depth to a series that ritually adds new mechanics to each entry. It's no different in this version of the game, but one thing that is different from its Japanese counterpart is the introduction of obstacles in combat. Now you can hide behind breakable objects for a quote-unquote surprise attack. When hidden behind them, you get a few attack options, such as an attack where you jump over and do an aerial attack. This will be a part of the Revolution series going forward. Stage transitions are just that, stage transitions. You hit the opponent near the edge of a screen, and it'll do a stage transition. You can either opt to attack the opponent while in the air, or you can just let them fall. Another thing that differs from Ninja Tyson 3 are some of the game modes. 3-man cell in Ninja Tyson 3 is gone in Revolution, but it's kind of made up for by some Wii exclusive modes. Shuriken throw mode, Rasengan mode, and Shadow Clone mode. To be honest, I couldn't do these for this retrospective because I forgot I was a negligible kid, and most of my things from the past are either broken or on their way out. Basically, my Wii remote sensor doesn't work, and when I tried to do it by other means, I couldn't figure out how to get my Wii remote to work correctly or calibrate it correctly. I did play a little bit of the Shuriken mode, and the goal is to hit cutouts of Team 7 while avoiding Sakura. You can unlock the other two modes by going through this mode. Most of the menus and UI elements carry over from their Japanese counterpart, much like the story. The story mode is the same as it was in Naruto Gekido Ninja Tyson 3. It follows Naruto's story in a mission mode format up to the Tsunade arc and the fight between the legendary Sannin. The same can't be said of Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution 2.
Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution 2.
Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution 2 was released a year later on October 21st, 2008 and will feature some exclusive, well, a lot of things, but mainly its story. The story mode is a non-canon story taking place after the Sasuke retrieval arc. Along with the story came exclusive characters not seen in the Japanese game. Not only that, the game features animated scenes by Studio Parrot, the people who worked on the Naruto anime. These characters would accompany more characters totaling to 35 for the roster, all for your use in different modes. In Revolution 2, you can team up or go into a 4-player brawl like you could in Naruto Clash of Ninja 2. These are also your standard fighting game modes such as time attack and survival, making the return from Clash of Ninja 2 as well as Ouroboros mode. And in this game, it's called Kumite mode. There's also a mission list where each character has a list of missions, but when coming up to the last mission, you can fight your rival. I will say that these games are really grindy. I wanted to see if I can get all the characters, and then I looked up a guide on how to get said characters, but they were talking about play 500 matches to unlock a character, so those slots are going to stay empty. Combat is somewhat similar to Revolution 1 with the addition of a new mechanic in the form of paper bombs. You can now set paper bombs on the ground for 25% of your chakra meter. These bombs add set play to a game that I don't think the series had much of up to this point. Detonate them manually if you want to spend a little bit more meter, you can. You can aim them with the remote, but it's only exclusive to that way of play. Hand seals are also introduced in this game. Using the Wii remote, you follow the prompts at the bottom of the screen to perform hand techniques. It enhances the damage of the ultimate jutsus and the like, and these also can only be done with the Wii remote. And my playthrough was on the GameCube controller, so I'm sorry I can't show you those. They also introduced Team Jutsus from Gekido Ninja Tyson 4.
Let's get serious! Earth style, charge slot!
Count on me!
Naruto!
Thank God! It's coming, Percy!
That should do it!
Naruto Shippuden, Clash of Ninja Revolution 3.
Like the previous Clash of Ninja Revolution games, Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution 3 is a melting pot of past Gekido Ninja Tyson games. It brings mechanics and 40 characters from the Japanese counterpart. Seeing as Revolution 3 will mark the first time Shippuden characters will be introduced to the series, it released on November 19, 2009 in the US, to old characters getting new moves and a new story arc to follow. Revolution 3 will follow the events of the Kazekage arc. Honestly, I couldn't beat the last boss, and the last boss is Datara from what I can tell, due to there being armor on him for the most part, and you have to break through it almost every time. I only had to struggle in Revolution and not even the Japanese counterpart. That wouldn't be the only change in Revolution compared to the EX series. They would essentially rework the combat system for Revolution 3. While most of its core stayed the same, some of the things that were deemed broken in the EX release would change, like latent ninja powers. Latent ninja powers is something like crisis mode from early versions, but a little bit more involved. Instead of a jutsu change at low health, characters would get a special ability to help them during battle. For instance, some characters would have it so they don't have to spend chakra on moves that previously needed it. Other combat changes will come in the form of combo ability being modified again. Like in the other Revolution games, the gravity and combos have been altered. As I've said before, characters are harder to juggle in these versions of the game, but something I noticed while playing is that the kunai have way more hit stun than the previous game. It allows links that weren't possible from what I've tested in other games in the Clash of Ninja series, leading to cooler combos. Things that are possible in the older versions are brought back into this game. I didn't mention it in the Revolution 2 portion, but 3-man cell is back in the form of squad battle. Here you can pick 2 characters on a team and play the game like a tag fighter. To an extent, you're not allowed to have assists, but you can do other parts of it, such as quick tag ins and tag in while you're being hit. It's too bad that isn't 3 like it is in the last iterations of the game, but I'm glad for its return. Seeing Naruto Clash of Ninja never actually leaving the West when I thought it did was nice to find out. The West having essentially their own versions makes this series worth it, especially if the EX series is different enough to make another mini retrospective on. But seeing when it actually left the West is kind of disheartening, because we could have gotten Sage Mode Naruto and other characters from the Pain arc, but instead we're ending with the Kazekage arc. But all in all, I'm glad at least Shippuden was able to get over here in some capacity in the Clash of Ninja series. Post video clarity math here, and I was wondering if you guys like that I put all 3 video games into one for this series. Usually I would go into detail about each one, but it didn't feel like I necessarily went into enough detail about each one in the series for this. While I don't mind doing this format, I like the other format as well. So whichever one you guys like the most, I'll stick to more often than not.